Welcome to FAXTZ Life, the podcast. You already know you rocking with the homie Deeve. Today we got a very special podcast that we bringing to you. Today we got a special feature, I should say, because this is big news, big time, big things. You know how we do. We told you to come and bring it to you different. But today we got Miss Satori here with us. And we're going to get into it. It's a little different for her, different for me. We're going to get into a nice little vibe. You know, we don't like to cut or anything like that. The way we rock is no cuts. You know how we go. It's always like that, right? But anyway, we're going to get into it. I got a few different questions for you. And, you know, I just want you to vibe. I just want you to be yourself. Mm-hmm. I just want you to rock into it. You know what I mean? And things like that. But first, I want to introduce you the proper way and let people know, because like I ain't gonna hold you.
I'm just an entity, just like you.
You are just the entity.
But it's cool to have unique entities and like find out about other people.
It's amazing to have that. My favorite thing, and that's what I was gonna say. My favorite thing though is like the fact that like it wasn't the artistry that like when artists can connect and creators can connect. It's crazy how it could bring you together. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to put that out there front street. It just like kind of mends. You know what I mean? So it's like
the right frequency.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about the frequencies and how things mesh. So it's like I like that, because for me, when I had to go do my research, and I want to make sure y'all do your research, because like this is gonna go deep. Like you already know who I am. You're gonna learn more from her, and she's gonna learn more from herself today too. Likewise for myself.
I think I need to get my hat.
You know? Yes. So I just want to say, like,
isn't life all about questions though?
Yeah. So it's like, tell us a little bit about you. Like, what is it what's one of your passions right now? What is something that you're going after, that you're seeking? You know what I mean? Like, what is something that's like making you thrive and making you feel happy right now?
To be honest, like even us just chilling here and just everything that came up to this point, you know, just set up, you know, just the connection, the type of like zone that we're in our own lives to come here. Right. To me, I'm just here. I'm really just here. And I'm like,
I like that.
It can, like, you know, obviously like people that know the kind of stuff that I put out there, is more like spiritual guidance. So in a very like new age, unique way. And I feel like that can go so many ways, but to say that to this point, this is all it is. It's just being. So that's really what it is. It's just being. If I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna have fun. Is the first things that come in my head when somebody asks me something like that. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
You know how some people are like, what do you want to be? Like,
right.
I'm being right now.
Being right now. Like, why can't that be an answer? Why can't that be more than enough right there? That's deep. That's actually deep. Because it's like, sometimes with some people, what we forget is that's just like existing is just existing, right? But when you're living, it's like you're literally, that means like for me, like, you know, like, and that's funny because it ties into that, like because that's one of my questions is, what is your thought on that, like living or existing? Like, what is your thought on, like, where would you before I give because I almost gave my little input, but what would you say, like, if somebody asks you, like, are you living or existing? What would your answer be?
Honestly, for somebody to even ask me stuff like that is so like fire, like for real, like that just feels amazing. Because when you're around people that just know you're look at the camera, it's fine. Come on, guys, come on. All right, we're gonna get right to it. So y'all want to play games, all right?
As she was saying,
tell me if you need the light.
I do. I've been needed it, but I don't want to keep giving you that too much.
I'm supposed to keep it in our spot. Mm-hmm. So excuse.
The time.
There's no time, but I like this. This is my type of zone.
But go ahead. So like when
like I was saying,
like, if somebody was to ask you,
say that again. Like say that question again.
I got you. If somebody was to ask you, are you living or existing? What would be your response to that? Like, are you living or existing? What would be your response to
that? I'm being. Being is like, when you're living, what are you doing? You're something. You're doing something. Because if you weren't doing something, you would not be existing.
Right.
That's mad simple, but it's real. It's real. Like it really is what it is.
Because a lot of people be like, man, I'm just existing here, or like you know, like sometimes when you be like, hey, how are you? Because I always say this, y'all know this. I can't stand for a person to ask me, how am I? And to keep going when they're just giving that filler for hi. All you gotta do is say hi. Don't ask me, how am I? Because that's an open-ended question that gives a response. So it's like, you can't just say, how are you? So it's like, when you do ask a person, how are they genuinely? And their response is, just here, like if it's at work, they'd be like, oh, another day, another dollar. Like, it's just like, I feel like that's an example of you've just been existing. Like,
do you want to get to know the character or not?
Yeah, like you don't even understand your deeper inner being in you and like your powers. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like when somebody's just like, they're just there, like I'm just here, it's like, damn. Like, you know what I mean? It's like that shit, it goes a little deeper, it goes different. So it's like, with that being said, right? Would you, if you had to be an outer, like if you could just take yourself and stand over here and just, I wish
I had a twin, but okay.
Yeah. I just wish I could just like take me and be like, look at it like here.
I fall in love with myself, actually.
It's different ways you can kind of do that. What I'm saying is if you know, it's different ways where you can actually, because right?
How?
Because look, it's that shit get deep. So that shit get deep, like, and that's kind of like what I'm doing more research on and studies on. But it's like, it's actually going into meditate and becoming more in tune with yourself. Because right, these bodies, in my opinion, these bodies is just for that, so that when we interact, exactly, like when we're interacting, it's like
okay,
screaming. And it's like our soul is what's really like going on, and it's like the energies like within that. So it's like energy can't be created nor destroyed, right? So it's like, with that being said, it's like when you sit back and you meditate and you really become in tune with all of your parts and all of your beings, even when you go to sleep, when you dream, right? It's times where you could dream and you could take yourself and place yourself somewhere else.
Lucid dreaming. Have you lucid dreamed before?
Yeah, so it's like,
I used to practice lucid dreaming.
Yeah, so it's like, so you
it's
said
scary
how?
When you don't know what's
so
going
you
on.
said how? So then, yeah. So it's like, it's different shit. You can go to different realms.
You're giving me a
different realms. Like, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't realize when you dream, when you actually have a vivid dream, you're in your highest dream state. That's as high as like you're gonna go. So it's like,
that's God actually looking at. Well, we'll talk about God's source.
Yeah.
If we say God, if we say source, if we say Jah, if we say Allah, that's just gonna go into another thing. But it's like, we're all talking about who's observing, what's being perceived. Everything we're talking about is gonna rotate. It's gonna rotate around the same. Everything, we could be passing each other a blunt, and it could really go back and talk about the same thing. Who's passing a blunt to who?
Yeah.
I was just passing a blunt. Like,
yeah. No, that's deep. Yeah. What you just said. So it's like, people don't get as is above is below. So it's like,
that's also, I feel like that needs to be explained a little bit more, even for me.
Even for you. So it's like all things, like for instance, when we were taking a stroll, right? We saw that the tree, and we saw the roots coming out of the ground, right? We do know that the roots are in that ground, right? Even though we see it, it goes. So it's like, even with water, and so, okay, I'll give you this. This is even better. When I started playing and gardening, right? I started realizing like, wow, the more junk I take out of this, the more life that grows. So then I'm like, wow, the more junk I take out of my life, the more life my life grows. It's the same thing, and all we're doing is talk. It's plants. It's grass. It could be grass. It could be anything. It could be a flower. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's the same thing. Like, it's the bugs, like the bees, all of these things we need, it's all one. You know what I mean? The yin and the yang.
All one.
Yeah. Like the yin and the yang.
All is one.
Yeah.
All is one. That was also another topic. And I know we're going to be jumping back and forth, just the way me and you go about our conversations. It's very like,
yeah, that's crazy.
It's explosive. It's very explosive. But I feel like we've come to a point, from as long as I've known you, I feel like where you have to kind of, if you're going to have conversations like these and really get the true like joy of it, like you have to kind of be in that state where you kind of accepted a certain amount of existence.
Yeah.
And that to me is extremely powerful, even saying that myself. So this is why, like, just to, just add some spark to like our conversation, is I'm going to jump back to like you asked me what was my reason.
Yeah.
Like, am I existing or am I just
Or are you living?
Or I'm just living.
I like
right?
that. Or being. That's even another. Are you existing or being? I
Right.
like being even better. For real.
Yeah, that's just like, I feel like a different way to say
Yeah.
it. So I'm gonna relate that to what I chose and I choose to do every day in my life. I choose because I feel like we do have a choice to exist in these characters and this type of life that we're living. We're choosing to live because you could do whatever you want right now, but we're choosing to do this.
Right.
We actually made a decision to get here. So with my music and the books and the type of existing I'm doing is I want to share that type of joy that I feel because I see certain people. It's so funny because when I hear other people say this about themselves, like, yeah, like successful people or people that have something that people want, all they want to do is share it.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. So for me to feel like that, like, why do I write books? Why do I make music? I could choose not to, because it takes work. It takes
work,
people. It takes money. It takes investing in yourself.
Right.
Anybody could be choosing to do something else, but since that question is directed to me, I'm choosing this Satori. It's because I want to share that joy and keep expanding in the type of craft that's like art to me.
Right.
Like, art has many forms.
Right.
So that's what I would say. So I'm being.
Nah, I like that. I was about to say that sound like you definitely you live in being, and throughout all of that you're creating the existence that's going to come with it. Where it's like the journey and the experiment with everything that's going to come with all of that. You know what I mean? So that's dope, and it's like to be able to look at it that way. Yeah, like, because that's
creating more experience.
Yeah, like we I think sometimes we're sometimes even as dreamers, right? You dream
that's cool.
so hard.
That's cool, dreamers.
Yeah, huh? Part of
I like how you said dreamers.
Yeah, dreamers, because it's like, because it's like that, like, man, a lot of times, like, you have them. You like, so.
But if you have control of your dream, not to cut you
become,
off, but I just had to say it, like, when you said dreamers, like, every time you started talking about, like, the other person, it's like, that's such a dope topic to. You're like,
yeah, I was looking for the lighter because it's not in the spot. I'm like, what is the light?
I seen your eyes.
Yeah, like, sheesh. But like, what you saying? What you mean? What you say? You said
when
like,
you say dreaming, it's super exciting because we were just talking about lucid dreaming. Mm-hmm. So I used to study that. I used to literally help myself lucid dream, and then I would get lucid dreams randomly, and they were scary as fuck.
Yeah.
And I want to know your experience.
Deep, but it's like, I see, because mine is like, so mine, I've only had them because I've had the control to learn about them. So I haven't had them where it has gotten to that part. Well, I mean, maybe I have, but that's deeper, and maybe I never thought about it that way. Maybe this whole time I didn't realize that these moments I was having those lucid dreams. You know what I mean? Now that I'm sitting back,
I don't know if I can say how that feels.
But lucid dreaming and all that, we going talk about that.
We got a little breeze in the air.
A little chilly.
I get a little,
But yeah, so it's like, as dreamers, I think sometimes we forget, like, in the busy world of like trying to like compose all of our thoughts and things like that, that we could take a moment, take a break, and just like enjoy our journey and remember that this is all part of the experience, and that we created a lot of the stuff that we ever went through. We created that, like the good, the bad, and the ugly. And that's what I mean by as is above,
some
is
people
below.
don't want to hear I created the bad in my life.
Yeah,
and
I
like, always have a back and forth with that.
You got to take a moment and be like, yo, because look,
else?
365 days. I
But
always say
else?
that 365 days. I bet you wasn't looking like you are today. And if you were, because some people are, but it's like, I bet you weren't. I bet you still was you're still at a different spot. You could be either, and that spot could be either worse or it could be better. But that's what said, you got the yin and you got the yang. It's a little bit of bad, a little bit of good.
Balance.
But you got to be able to, yeah.
That's something huge that helped me out.
Everything is like, everything goes back and correlate with itself, and it's like, it comes back together. So it's like, even like what you said, like with that whole, with the whole like being, like you said, like if you feel this within your spirit and within your soul, that's what we say, within your energy and your entity, that this is what you want to do, and you want to be like you said with those successful people. But
moment by moment, I'm hearing you say all this, and I'm like, but moment by moment, like you don't even know, like it's a mystery.
Yeah,
and that can go even
and that's
deeper.
the beauty of it. But sometimes that's the scariest part, because like for a person like me, right, and this actually ties into the next question I was going to ask you when I was talking about when you're taking yourself outside of it. Right now, where you're at, right now, in this moment, where you're at, if everything had to stop and you had to step out and let somebody else come in, but that somebody else is your mirror, like when yourself, what you look at in the mirror,
Yeah.
could you be with you? Could you be with you and deal with you?
Wow, that's.
And like, would you?
You want to say yes, right? But then you know every part of you.
Yeah, and like
That
that's
you
a
might,
lot of people
you know.
ask that question, but it's like I don't know if it's even, because I mean deep likewise. Like if knowing everything that you do, who you are, because like right, everybody
That's
has
deep.
their perspective of and their perception of, because they intertwine, right, of what and who you are, right. So it's like with who you know who you really are. And sometimes we don't even know who we really are until we really dig deep.
Programmed or just like by default.
Exactly.
Actually, asked that
How many
question
people
before.
out here you be like, well, what do you like? And they be like, that was a question in school. People, do you? And it's like it's crazy that it set you up for that. Like, what do you like? Because that's a real question. As an adult, that get real. What do you like? And if you can't answer that, it's like, there go your answer.
That's
like,
why you try things out. That's why I love sauces and stuff so much, or I love trying all different types of, just like not everybody likes to options, but I like extreme options so I can try out, experiment, see what I like and see what I don't.
Right.
Things I don't like, I don't focus on them, and that's another thing that's very important that I would want to add about what I bring out. It's just let's focus on motivational. Let's focus on more motivational. What'd you say?
You said more. So what you mean? So like,
meaning we I know, you see how like we like the way like I get it. We're trying to like simplify this a little bit more for everybody to like understand, but I know there's people that just get it.
Yeah.
And some people that are going to be awakened to this and just be like, oh, that's different, that's dope. Because another thing, we have so many topics. Another thing is it's like about we're going to keep going back to, are you existing or are you living? Existing is us. This is going to go back to anything we can get sidetracked off. Are you existing? Meaning like, why are you doing what you're doing? Are you living? Do you know you're only living that way because you keep focusing towards the negative?
I see what you're saying. Yeah. So you want okay.
So why is that? Why does that go back to that? Why do people do certain things? Why are they with certain people? Why are they unhappy or unhappy? How could you? So for me, like I said, I do it to motivate myself to stay on that right quote unquote path. There's no right path. It's your path.
No such thing.
So this is my path.
That's your journey, your experience.
Right. Some people are gonna chill with you on it, and some people are not gonna like it. And don't get offended because I might not like that path either.
Yo, that's deep though that you say that though, because it's like, yo, that's crazy. That's wild.
That's kind of ties in with judgment. Who am I to judge?
It's wild that you say that because look, right, like, cause right, like this shit real. This facts of life, right? So it's like this shit real. So it's like, even at a point right now, I'll be real with y'all. You know, I'll keep it funky with y'all. Even right now, there's a point where, like, for me, at my point in my life, like, even getting back to giving this to the folks, like, bringing back the podcast and, like, getting back into folks, is like, I had to realize, like, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to create. This is my
Your
vision.
playtime.
You know what I mean? This is, like, what I really enjoy. So it's like,
why
if
not?
Nobody else.
Why not?
Yeah.
Don't
like,
you ever think
why
that?
not? Like,
why would I do something I don't want to do?
Yeah, like, why? Like, why?
Duh,
like that's crazy that you even just said that, because it's like, that's really, like, literally what I've been just going through, like, within this past month. It's like, yo, why not just do it? Why not just go out and live and just be? Like, because look how it all come together. It all come out and it come dope. Yeah.
Be good.
All right, fix your collar.
Whatever.
Your collar.
Thanks.
I got you. So back on.
The hat really helped me.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
It keep you flowing, and it's letting the wind blow your hair the way that it should. It's like, it kind of look like we got a fan going for you. Like,
big fan. You guys got some big fans. Damn, that's a bluebird. That's a bluebird. That's a redbird. I said blue. Look,
Say, well,
blue,
where's the
blue, red.
Yeah, I'm like, well, where the fuck is the blue
Oh,
at?
what was the other thing we were gonna talk about?
Orange bird to me.
The Matrix. Let's talk about the Matrix. Let's slip that in there.
The Matrix.
Since we're talking about, we just seen a red bird.
What about the Matrix?
We were talking about red pill. That's why we got these.
Yeah.
You know, going back and forth.
Yeah.
What's the Matrix is going back to living. Are you existing?
Yeah, that is true. Yo, so the Matrix. So that's what I'm saying. Even with the. Oh, like, so listen, this shit is going to tie in. Wait till we play it back. Like, I never even did it like this before. This is crazy.
This is on, though. We're on right now.
Oh, wait,
we're live.
Yes,
we are.
Oh, my
This is
fault.
all live.
This is crazy.
You're going to go in and out. You'll get the gist of it. But you want to stay natural to yourself, but still be on point
But
professionally.
but listen, like, cause like even like what I'm saying, like when you say like within, living and existing, right? Within living and existing, it is a matrix within it, right? Cause like when we're creating our paths and all that, we're fucking around with different shit,
we're
right?
cooking.
We're fucking around with different shit. It's a trial and error. We're trying to. A lot of things we never did. Majority of the shit
Which is
we never
exciting.
did. It's just
It's
like,
exciting.
you know what I mean? So it's like, even with well, I kind of got sidetracked when I was saying with that Matrix shit, but yeah, it's just
Living
crazy
or
how it all-
existing.
yeah, like it's like
gonna go back to
all
living or
it all
existing.
go right back into like if you're living or existing, and it's like when you're doing it. Are you doing it purposefully and with intent, or is you just doing it just
default?
Just default, like
Programming.
I'm roboted. This is what I gotta do. I gotta wake up.
I
go
have
this
to
9
do this.
5.
I
Yeah,
have
like
to do.
yeah, like what is
Who
that?
put a gun to your head and say you have to do this?
Like-
Unless that's real life, but that's another
I
subject.
mean, that's deep. I don't even want
That's another subject.
I don't want no parts of that. I don't want none. Nah,
No, but in real, regular
for real,
retrospect, like
that's a fact. And it's like,
you could. Can we just state this? And can you please, like, we have to say, like, you can do whatever you want. Like, you could,
Literally.
you could legit, you could do whatever you want.
yo,
That's
and
on you.
Yo, that's literally it's on you. Like I used to say this, right? For instance, right, when you're driving a car, right? You're driving. We all drive cars. A lot of us drive cars. You're driving a car. You have the control to stop and press the gas. If you didn't want to follow those controls and you wanted to fucking hit the car in front of you, you could do it. You could do it.
Of course.
Now, would things happen after that? Yes.
You're only not doing it.
But you're only not doing it because of all of these
Sherlock.
It's like, well, I want my car. I don't want, like, you know, but it's like, what's really, and I always say that to people when people be looking at me like, yo, that's wild for you to even think like that. But it's like, you can do it.
But people, come on.
You
Everybody
can.
thinks about. I've thought about that many times. I'm like, yo, what if I just go
like,
on
even
here?
the little lines, I be thinking like these lines.
Why
on
do
the
I
road
gotta?
is just like,
and then you be
I'm
playing
just-
with it,
yeah,
like playing
I'm,
with power.
I'm choosing to stay on this because it's solid. I
I'm
can
gonna-
obey it because
wait,
I know I read the book.
No, when I'm like, no, I'm like, but I'm trying to have fun. I'm not gonna bother nobody. So let me swiggle here and
like
there.
you just living. And
But I'm also-
through your living.
But also, I respect. Can we talk about respect and living and existing? Do you just?
I like that. Yeah.
Do you choose to be respectful, or are you just respectful because your parents told you to be respectful,
That's another thing too. Because is it? Because that's like, is it?
or
will
your
it be
partner told
genuine?
you to be respectful? Not that goes into relationships and switching
Yeah.
people up for your own liking.
So that's a thing right there.
Choice. So
That's the thing right there. Like, have you like for in your journey and your existence and your being, all of that stuff being intertwined, have you ever felt like you stop living to alter your living ways for a partner?
So for people like that know me on streaming, because I don't really put it too out there, but there's certain streams that I'm on, and the people that actually see me live and talk about this, most of them know that I was like super religious before. Mm-hmm. You know, I grew up like in a Muslim household, and everything I'm doing now and the way of life that I live now is extremely different when you really are aware of it, when you begin to become aware of it. Because when you're in a religion, and a lot of people are, you know, they go through like levels of it, the belief. Why are you, then when you get to a certain stage where you're not being forced, you know what I mean, or told what to believe, you start going like, do I need a religion? What is a religion? Who is a religion about? So I went through all of that first. So I was in a state before when it was more so like, do this because you have to do this. There's a heaven and hell. Just like when you said when you're driving, if you don't do this, this is gonna happen. But to me, it was kind of like, all right, don't give a baby a knife, but give it like a pencil to you know what I mean? Like give it a pencil to actually think for themselves while you guide them. And make sure you always let them know this is on you. You know what I mean? So we're a different generation than our parents, you know? Like, so I'm a 90s baby. So I'm like, we're probably like, well, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, like we're kind of like the last ones to go through that really harsh, you know, do this. You got to be like, because right now, G generation and all this
like,
new age is different.
I feel like you're right. Like, because definitely for me, like, being a 90s baby as well, especially like right in it, you're right. It's like, it's so, the world has become more desensitized to humanity and more sensitized to
self.
Yeah.
I didn't want to put that word in your mouth.
But that's great because I was trying to figure out like how to like make that.
Wait, pause. You're saying
it's like
before it was what? So it was clear for everybody.
So before the world was more like it was more teaching. It was like more teachings being like
our way
people
or the highway.
Yeah, like people were more like in any ways, like maybe some people, maybe it wasn't like maybe some people had
how to dress, how to act,
like,
and everything was also part of that.
Was what?
And culture-wise and family-wise.
Well, yeah.
It was kind of like, this is the way to do it.
Well, yeah,
but now
I mean,
it's
that's
more
still
like,
now. But
I'm going to choose the way to do it. I don't know, I want you to kind of tell me.
No, like, well, what I was more so saying is like, as far as like, I think like, it was the mental with the teachings, I guess, is like, back when I was growing up, it was more of like, a lot of things that I could think of when it was like how to, like, oh, you got to do this, like when you're saying with the religion thing, like it was beat in my head. I have to.
You grew up religious too?
Yeah,
Really?
Like it was beat in my head, like, you know, and it was like, so to the point, like even to now, when I say certain things, people be like, oh man, you like you must be the devil, like, you know, and I'm like, well, if that helps you.
But
sleep
that's how
at
we
night,
probably used to think, like low key, like, oh, if they don't do this the right way. But now I feel like it's like there was a break.
I always kind of challenged it.
Me too.
I always challenged it because I was a little rebel. Maybe I challenged it. I could have challenged it. Maybe some of because how my sexuality was. I was like, well, this ain't gonna fucking work for me because I'm already. I done messed up, so now I gotta. Messed up. So it's like, I gotta be like rebellious. So I don't know if that played a part in it, but like I can say like I just was kind of like or maybe it was just like I didn't see it wasn't enough proof for me for what it was, and maybe I always had questions. You know what I mean? So because it's like when you're saying life and when you're telling me about life and things about life, it's like I gotta see some type of proof, a little bit of receipts. You know what I mean? And it gotta be a little deeper than what some things are, because it's like one way. When you read one thing, it's this way, and then when you read the other way, huh?
You're the why asker?
Yeah, like
why? Why
that? You know, they'd be like, well, I'm not. Yeah, I was that kid.
You gotta
like, well,
do that
why?
because,
why?
And if you ask them, explain why, they're like, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, like, stay in a child's place. Like, oh my God, that used to be the thing. Stay in a child's place. Like, I don't know if you grew up on stay in a child. Like, what? Just tell me you don't know the answer. We can figure it out together.
No, it's kind of like the blind leading the blind type of situation. I understand now.
And that's what I'm saying. So going back to that, I feel like back then it was kind of more of people were wanting to seek a little bit more knowledge. And to try to pass it, sprinkle it around. And now it's more of people are kind of telling you what knowledge you have to go out and seek and like be. And now people are like, now people are more rebellious of like, no, I don't. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, no, I don't. They lead
their way.
Yeah.
And it's a cool time to be alive. Like, real talk. This is a very, very amazing time. So, like I said, right now, with everything that I'm doing, this is exactly what it is. It's literally just like, yo, live your life. Just think more positive. I know people are gonna be like, well, yeah, like think more positive, but why did this happen to me? Why did this person die? Why did this situation happen? How about we pause and try to make it simple for you? That's why I like simplicity.
Yeah, stop asking those
how
questions.
How do you feel? Can you breathe? Can you walk? Can you eat? Like, can you actually call a friend? Can you just look at yourself in the mirror? Can you just feel your veins pumping blood? Like, can we at least go there before we go to the household, community, and then fights or, anything else that you're getting into in your negative zone that you don't want to be in. So
it's like, so you saying like people need to slow down and be in the moment.
Being.
Yeah.
just be like
and the things you could do, like you could lift up your leg, you could lift up your arm, you can yell if you wanted to as loud as you
scream.
fucking
You
want.
like
Yeah,
act like a
do.
child with my like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, it's fun. Like, why are you gonna do this? Because I want to.
And I think, in my opinion, I feel as though, and I'm gonna ask you. I want to know why you think people may do that. You know what I mean?
Why they
Because
close?
I want to know, like, you know, so because in my opinion, I think some people do that is because, like you said, it's everything. I like to say it starts from back home. Some people don't agree with that. But a lot of stuff starts back from home, because you got to remember, when you're born, you're born into some trauma that your parents had that they didn't heal. So it's like, if they didn't heal that trauma, now that new thing that they're creating is now bound to have that pain and that hurt, and they don't even know where it ever came from, because they're still trying to get through it. So it's
they
like,
weren't aware to see it, but now since we're aware of that, we can make a better difference future-wise.
Right.
So we're
So
just
it's like,
creating a better future.
Exactly. So do
Simply.
you think people do that because they're not aware of the fact that they can create a different future? Or do you think, like, it's just because they're like, what is your thoughts on that? Why do you think people, because obviously the world can't be perfect. If it was perfect, then, you know, but
robots.
Why do you think
drones.
there's so many people that aren't just going out there living their life and just being them?
Why people are not living the life they want to live more clearly is because they're scared and they actually just don't know, and they're not listening to their inner self. Who are you talking to, and what are you feeling when you're by yourself? Something is telling you, go there, do this, you know, scream, shout, write, you know, go to the gym, make a new, you know, invention. That's how all the other stuff started, because it was different. If everybody was following each other, we'd all be the same.
Right. And that'd be very monotonous.
That would be
and
boring as
like,
fuck.
Yeah.
Like, if me and you, I like looking at myself. I'm cool, like, I love myself, but I love other people too. I really love experiencing other people with myself is union for me. So that then plays into there's really no need to hate. It's kind of more like
it could be a mesh.
Yeah, it could be a co-creation, like when people have babies. Anything makes a baby.
Anything makes a baby. Oh, I like that.
It makes it into like something beautiful. Yo. Like when we make food, we mix things up. What if every day you ate, like, you know, cream chowder or whatever? I don't know why the freaking came out.
Wow, you like cream chowder?
I don't know.
It's okay if you like.
I actually,
listen,
no.
Might,
I really don't.
Listen, once y'all follow her on Instagram, make sure y'all send her some cream chowder. All right. What is cream? Honestly,
what is cream
chowder?
I don't know why.
What is that?
It's like it's like corn.
I thought it was cream of wheat, or no, cream chowder. Is that
I'd rather do oatmeal, but not really. It's like, that's kind of like paper. But anyways, let's try to help people out. Let's help ourselves.
Yeah. So it's like, so what do you think? Like, so back to what you were saying. You're saying, like,
I feel like they don't know and they're not listening to themselves. So, we just sidetracked to just having more love for each other and the others. It's like when they say love thy neighbor, like, all these little quotes and stuff we hear in life. And you get to a certain point. I could have done this when I was 6 years old. I could do this when I'm 50.
Yeah,
it doesn't
you
matter.
Your power.
You just start to really put things together and like see it from a different perspective through your journeys.
And that's why people get weird when I say, like, we're all gods. But people
that's so normal. That's just so regular. But then if you said that to me, or you and us back then, you'd be like, that's blasphemy.
It's like, you'd be like,
what? I can't.
What do you mean? Like, you know?
Stop.
You better stop. You better stop playing with the law.
What? No, I'm sorry, guys.
It's like, you like, oh my God. And then you gotta go, you gotta pray. You gotta
repent.
Like, you gotta repent. That's what it's called. Repent. I would have been.
Repent. No, but it feels so amazing to take those shackles off.
Mm-hmm. To be like I said, to break free, right?
To feel like, yo, like, let my people go. Let my people go. Like, real talk.
So you said, do you feel like when
they're unaware? They're unaware.
So you feel like you said that you were part of stuff. So, like, I want to get back to, because that ties into, you basically said you had shackles. You was like, you know, and I'm not, I'm not just saying like you. Like I said, I like grew up in a.
We're talking for others that could like relate to it.
Like in a Christian home, a Christianity home or whatever. But, or I guess that's what, and that's crazy. It's like it goes so deep because it's like when you go into all those things, it's like it just. I just had a moment when I thought about like Christianity, but then I was going to a Baptist church.
It's
and
a lot. It's a lot. This is why I feel like I want us to simplify it for the type of like zones we like to, you know, kind of co-create. So it's kind of simply somebody will hear this and be like, you know what? I'm not aware. How do I become aware? That could be in a positive mindset. Like actually, you hear like when I hear podcasts or when I hear certain, you know, anything from another person that I don't know about, I research. That's how I got to where I am.
Yo, that's my favorite thing to do. Like that's literally, if I have a question, I ask a lot of questions. If I have a question and nobody around is to give me, I'll start, and I don't just like look at the first thing. I'll go deep, and next thing you know, I get into a little rabbit hole of like all this other stuff because it's like, oh wow, because this is like this and this is from here and there. So it's like you said.
I resonate with that because that happened to me. Like it's just now, like you don't even have to continue. Like I already know, like all those years, like those rabbit hole years. Literally, you can just be like, yeah, I was in a rabbit hole. To you, you don't know what really was that we had to go through.
Yeah, like
But when you hear somebody say that, you could really like respect. Like I respect that journey. Like damn, like you cool. Like
it was.
And we still growing. So
yeah, and that's the best part. Like every day, like even in a couple, the best part is in a couple more seconds, a couple more hours, a couple more minutes. It's growth. It's growth. It's growth. So it's like that's the part that's beautiful. Dope too. If it's like
and I'm just trying to like really enjoy it, and I kind of dissect it. This is dissecting it. I guess we're scientists. This is why like on my bios and stuff I have like I'm a scientist because I be dissecting life, but I want to have fun with it.
Yeah, I like that, dissecting it. Scientists. The scientists.
Satori.
Satori, yeah. Satori,
I want a memorial. No, I'm gonna live forever. I mean, we do live forever. That's another topic.
I mean, that's a whole nother topic. But what was I gonna say?
Living or existing.
Yeah, like back to living or exist. Like right now.
Can we just pause? I've been doing like breathing sessions.
Yeah, like let's do like meditation moments.
All right, let's try.
Sometimes
let's
that's
really
weird
do it
for people. Like I like to like.
I want to do it right now.
Yeah, let's do it. Now when you do your breathing technique, do you do in 3 out 6?
No, I do whatever I feel like.
Oh.
Yeah, okay. And it feels amazing when you do it, like, because you listen to yourself and you move a certain way and you start like really like going
loosen up. Because I need to.
Yeah, it's like you need to like loosen up. Like
I was in the gym, so I didn't get the stretch. But sometimes I do that too when I'm in the gym. I'm on the cycle a lot. I just sit there and like I know people probably think I'm weird, but I don't give a fuck. I just be breathing.
Is it weird just to be yourself?
Yo,
is it weird to exist?
That's crazy because it's like that's what I'm saying. It's like not for nothing. It's crazy that we're having this conversation because it's like to really be vulnerable right now. Like it's like, yo, I was really going through that. Like I really I could be like, yo, I'm one of them. Like yo, like you're not alone. If you're not alone. Like right now, this is you experiencing my journey. Like my antennas is up. And I'm letting you go through it.
It's a fun adventure.
Yeah, and it's like, that's why I be telling people, like, I don't call these dreads, I call them locks. Because it's like, literally, I'm locking you in. And if you see my shit and you know my shit, it literally could tell you stories of my life. Like, that's the crazy part about it. And it's like, we're so connected with that. Like, you forget how connected you are.
That's why I was listening today when I was, like, getting ready, saying how meditation is one of the most powerful ways, and I get it. We see this on YouTube. We read it on Instagram. Meditation is, I don't want to be a monk type of thing.
Yeah.
Meditation is literally just pause and just be.
Yes.
Because we always feel like we got to do things. I got to do this. We got like a billion checklists. So if you just, all I'm saying to myself and anybody who kind of resonates with this, is just come, whatever you're doing, chill.
Yeah. And
gym
just
or home.
Be in that moment. Like sometimes what I be doing, like, to get myself, because a lot of people, sometimes this is what people say when it comes to meditation. Like, from my experience, when I tell people, I offer and I tell them meditation. Again, I'm not no pro or anything like that, but this is just my experience, right? So all I could do is give you my receipts and my evidence, my proof. So it's like, my evidence is, to get me into it, I'll put on some music that's like just like sounds.
Whatever
It's just
feels
like,
good.
Yeah, like sometimes like I don't even put on no words, like because I want to not hear things. Cause
I love when we give ourselves time. Oh, it feels so fucking good. I love when we give ourselves time.
So it's like, so for me, I'll get in the mood like that, right? So I'll put it on, and then like I'll sit however comfortable I feel. I don't feel like it's a right or wrong way. Sometimes I lay the fuck down.
I agree.
Whatever I feel comfortable. So it's like when I'm doing it, it's just the moment of, I'll start by like wiggling my toes, and I'll say to myself, you have your toes. I'll go one by one, and I'll be like, you got each one. I wiggle my fingers and all of that, and it's like just to realize like I'm feeling myself, and it's like I'll do things to remind myself I have the control to do these things. It's nothing, like you said, it's nothing stopping me. It's nothing, and it's like then I'll go in a moment of just being, and it's just like I'll listen to my heart.
It's like a very like.
To me, it's like ecstasy.
So
I don't know.
Not actual ecstasy.
Oh.
I never tried ecstasy.
Yeah,
actual
I was like,
ecstasy.
wow.
No, don't do drugs. Seriously, I can't believe I'm really saying this. Don't do drugs.
Well, don't do drugs. That's definitely crazy. But
no, not ecstasy. I mean, the ecstasy feeling for me. The definition of it for me is when you feel so godly.
Yeah.
When you're a vessel and God, there is only God. God has many faces. And all these, like I said, these quotes sound hilarious in your mind when you know they're true.
And then you watch our words, like things, what we don't know, like you said, if we don't research and the things we don't know,
we're choosing not to know.
Huh?
If you want to know something and you don't pursue it, you will never know because you're choosing not to know. Yeah, you're choosing
not to know. And it's like, and that's what you got. Like you gotta want to know and really go out and seek it. Like, you know what I mean? You can't just be one of those people that be like, well, such and such around the corner said, like, okay, and like, you know, like Bobby Boucher, my mama said, shout out to Bobby Boucher and the Water Boy, you know what I'm saying? It's my shit. But like, it's just like, you don't want to be one of them people that just like, well, because this person said that, that's how it go. Like,
yes, man.
Yeah, how many times, and you don't want to be one of these people either, because how many times people will be like, oh, well, you only like that and living like that because you went through, and it's like, no, I like, because, or you're saying that because you're here now, like at the successful part. Remember you were saying earlier, like successful people want to help out other people and things like that. So it's like when sometimes you have those people, like I guess we'll call them the haters or so or whatever. You'll have them be like, well, you're here now, so you're only thinking that way because you're here. And it's like they forget, like, again, the journey.
How'd I get here?
Yeah, how did you get here? They don't, and it's like they don't care to hear all of that.
Some people can get here faster though, and I feel like that's when you're aware. So, you know, just something to remember, so nobody feels left out, because we're all in here together.
That's a fact.
We really are, because we're all family. Like legit, we're family. When we have family. When you have legit love, family, like type of like energy, right, that goes for everyone. That goes for animals. That goes for like your neighbor.
Everything's connected.
You won't have all that, you know, that opposite where it's just explosive hatred. Yeah. You love when you see like a child laugh, or you see when your homie or your, like, you know, your partner gets, like, you know, the best thing they've wanted all along, like them being happy. You're like, this is life. Like, yeah, all right, that's
but
good.
Not everybody is crazy.
Because you need to learn that. I know people feel ashamed when they feel jealous.
Yeah, not everybody feel that way. Some people feel as though, like,
that's real.
If they see their partner doing what it is that they enjoy, they kind of get that like a envious in them.
Like, what am I want to do better, or I don't want them to do that. I don't want them to shine.
I don't even know what you would think, because I can't even.
But that's in all of us, though. But I want to kind of dissect that. That's gonna, especially with social media, people be comparing, like, you know what I mean? Like, we compare. It's kind of like a survival type of instinct. We want to be. It's partly survival. The other part is more just the ego. You know, you're always wanting to recreate. And I don't think that's bad when you do it motivationally. If I see somebody and I feel like they're popping, like, damn, like, I like their style, I like the way they speak, I like the way they are, then I'm going to learn and dissect how I could better myself for that type of desire. Right. So it doesn't have to be, you know, I'm just gonna hate on you because you're better. It's no better. It's just different levels of energy.
But some people, they can't get past that. Like, and so, like,
a lot of things happen because of envy and jealousy. A lot of things. I feel like, you know, killings, people killing each other.
A lot of,
you know, things when you see like the, you know, Pop Smoke stuff. You see the what's his name?
Listen,
XXX.
Yes, it's a lot of that like
you run up to people and they're gone. You don't want them here. It's too dangerous for you. Like you feel like it's threatening. Instead of being like, yo, I want to collab with you.
Right. And yo, then that's crazy. That's wild.
Because we're both artists, so we chose to kind of unify instead of being like, I don't like that. You know, even though we have our own side talks and we're like, no. So we're like, at the end of the day, you're like, I could have thought it because I didn't know that person. But once I gave that person a chance, like, damn, I see a whole different part that I could have judged, but I don't want to be judged.
And sometimes you could build. Like, people forget, like, you could build. Like,
two hands are better than one.
Yeah, like, you could build it.
You're like a grandma.
Like, everybody say that I have an old soul. Everybody always say that. Everybody always say that I have an old soul. But it's like, for real, like, you could build. Like, and that's what I was saying when I was, like, back in the day. Like, I feel like it was more of, nobody was afraid to pass you down that knowledge and where. So now people are all about the hype. You know what I mean? That's what thrives. Is the hype.
Following, the following. Why do you truly want to be like that? Did you ever ask yourself that? What are you really doing? Like, this is no shade. Like, what do you want to do? If I'm gonna be working or doing a different art, say I did dancing, I don't even like dancing. It just, you know, I only did it because of, say, money, or I did it because, what was that?
I said you better be the fucking best at it if that's what you want to do, if that's what you want to do.
And if you don't want to be the best at it, you don't have to. That's also
true.
Another thing.
Oh, that's true too.
I don't have to do anything for me to feel alive. I literally just am.
Okay.
And that makes everything disappear.
So you saying like, I want you to elaborate on that, because I like that. I know. I want you to elaborate on that. Like you said, you don't have to do anything just to be. Or
I feel like that's something that's maybe weird for some minds to understand. Because like, what you mean? I don't have to do anything. I'm built to do things. That's going back to the checklist. Mm-hmm. You could stare at a blank wall. I'm looking at a beautiful lake right now. I don't have to be dancing. I don't have to be writing. I don't have to be doing anything. I could just be watching it. And if I want to jump around and do anything else, I could do that too. I'm not doing it for any outcome. I'm just doing it because I want to do it.
It's
that's what being is.
It's fulfilling you. It's making you.
When you do things, when you're fronting and you're being fake. Why we don't like fake things? You know, it's because it's not you.
Yeah.
You're doing something you don't want to do.
You could tell, because it's only but so long you could keep
the act
fake.
Fake.
For real.
I mean, real.
It's only but so long you could keep that fake. But I was thinking about that a little bit ago. Finding a moment to do that. But like, I like that. I like this. Like, I had a thought in a moment.
You know, that's
but
beautiful.
I think we need to take a moment real quick.
Okay. All right.
The boost, shout out to the boost.
She's the plug right now. She's the plug. No, forget it. All right, you're gonna edit that out.
You know what I mean?
No, are you trying to make some money? Are you trying to make some money?
I said, I don't know what you're talking about, you know what I mean? I said, you know, a florist is a florist, you know. People need to understand that life be life in it. So you should take more time to look at the flourishness.
Right.
Your roses
you're getting me on that.
Nah, but
she's saying some hidden words like, what's the secret password?
Like talking in code, right?
Right. If you get it, you get it. You don't, move on.
Yeah,
let's move on.
Yeah, nah, you're right. But
we were talking living existence. I'm gonna say, she told me to say living existence. So, because our minds are way too vast, and that's no shade to anybody, all right? There's vaster minds, and we are fans, okay?
Yeah. No, most definitely. I hope, shout out to them. I hope they give us more insight and help us in our
intelligence.
Journey. And like, drop the knowledge on us, you know what I mean? Help us, help you and them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good proposal.
You know what I mean? I just want to shed a light on them. But not shine a light on them. You know what I mean? But
all right.
so like with with everything we were talking about, and all of that, I want to just ask, like,
living in existence,
with the living and existing and everything, right? And people having to learn how to just be okay with being and not having a reason for being, right? So it's like, what do you feel as though people could do to help them? Like, if somebody came and asked you, like, hey, so I hear you, but I still have all these crazy negatives and I just don't feel like I have the courage or the way. What would you say to them?
Oh my gosh. So I have people saying that because I was life coaching before. So I have even like friends of friends or people that I talk to that I don't even know that long. They're always like, what do I do to just get it? Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, focus on you. I'm like, the first thing you could do is just little tips that I give like my friends, or like it could be my own sister. Just get a journal, put it on your phone, and start talking to yourself. Talk to yourself. You don't even have to look at yourself in the mirror. Maybe that will scare you. You're not ready for that yet.
Some people, ooh, that's deep that you just said that.
So let's not even go there. Let's start with the inside, because you don't even know how your inside really looks other than the organs. The spirit is invisible. So talk to your spirit and just be like, how do you feel? Like, how do you feel? Like, oh, I'm sad right now. Oh, I'm excited. I'm scared. And then you really start hearing the cracks. And then that's you. That's really you. And then there's other parts of you, but you'll understand that once you just take that one tip. So my answer would be just talk to your inner self so much that you get to understand what isn't really you. And then the other answers will come.
Exactly. I like that. Like, and for me, that's, I believe that. Like I said, a lot of y'all is like, you're going to see, like, I'm literally like, it's crazy, like, cause I'm literally on that journey. So it's like, for me, that's what I really started doing. And I actually just was talking to one of my homeboys, and I'm like, yo, this might sound lame, but I write now. I write all my thoughts. Like, I write all my thoughts. And sometimes, you know, it's crazy. Sometimes I write more, the more I'm in my head and the more I feel crazy. And I'm like, I'll write. And then it's like, I got to give myself grace and be like, yo, write about the good stuff too. Like, don't just, because I don't, maybe I haven't gone back and reread any of this stuff. Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
But it's a really good expression.
I haven't, like, you know what I mean? But it's like, I've only been doing this for not even a full month yet. You know what I mean? But I can say, like, honestly, writing it down and seeing it, I have gone back when I'm about to start back my new entry, and I just kind of glance up and I'm like, I kind of laugh at some stuff. I'm like, yo, that's where I was at. I didn't realize that I had the control right at that moment. And it's like you said, it's like, if you write that stuff down, and it's like, you start seeing that it's like, okay, I can get this stuff out, I could get that stuff out. You know what I mean? I could wipe out this, wipe out that. So another one of the last questions I want to ask you, is when you even said, it's crazy because that you said this, but you even said a moment ago, you were like, that how you feel. Do you feel as though with feelings, do you feel like feelings is real? Or like, do you feel like feelings are real?
To be honest, I have tried to study feelings from my level of like understanding right now. I feel like feelings are everything, and sometimes we don't want to feel anything. And some people can approach that in different ways, like, drugs or like the hardcore things where it kind of like just numbs you out. Because for me, like, God is silence, like, is really, you cannot see a face. That's why there's creations. So to me, it's kind of just like, it's God's feelings. They are real. We don't know how. That's a mystery. God, source, and existence, Jah, Allah, is just, it's a mystery. So it's kind of just like, you could be scared. You can be scared only for so long until you really are like, all right, like, what really is this? Like, what is going on? Living, existing. Why am I here? Is questions that you could see. Like, most popular question, like, what am I doing existing? You're here to experience. I mean, from what I've existed and understood, and your feelings guide you, but you have to be the one that kind of is the controller of your ship. This is the vessel. this is gonna, from what I know, I haven't experienced it in this body yet.
Right.
The best thing I can say, to be honest. I don't know that. When I'm there, I'll go through it. So the other things that I went through my life, like when I got there, then I knew.
Yeah.
So that kind of put fear, which is another huge thing for everybody,
I say, not to cut you off or anything, part of self, but like, it's funny, I have a fear tattoo back here. And it's crazy, if you don't pay, like I got it going on the back of my arm, but it's up and down. But anyway, for me, I feel like the reason why I got it is I feel like fear is false evidence appearing real. It's like, it's not, it's
the unknown.
Yeah, it's like, what's really there? Like, what is it that we created these things that's like, it doesn't mean that it's for real.
It's like another thing I want to say is kind of organization. Right now, it's kind of like when you start writing things, when you journal, checklist, organize. When you cleaning your house and organizing things makes you have a free space to actually think. Mm-hmm. So I feel like those questions go beyond. But the two tips I would give, just to close off my answer, is just you're here to experience. Feelings are what lead you, and you want to learn how to control those feelings to get you to the joyous of whatever you uniquely want to feel
for your inner self
and be.
Shit, right? I like that.
Yeah.
But before we go, I want to make sure that everybody know where we could find you. Where, like, your phone, where you at? You know what I'm saying? When they send that your phone.
Isn't it so easy right now to like get a hold of people?
Yo, like, yeah, no, and it's funny how the different socials, like, we're gonna get into that a whole nother time, but like how the socials, like certain things play certain parts, and like the do's and don'ts to show socials.
Some people don't care. Some people do. I actually,
the do's and don'ts.
I'm
like,
a person that respects, the minimum of it, and then I don't like to really follow something. I like to just get inspired by it, and I do use Instagram for my, I guess, like portfolio. Where I show, where I'm more active on is on Instagram and YouTube.
Fair enough. So on Instagram and YouTube, where can we find you at? And what else? What else you got?
SoulKeyz is also coming.
Yeah, I'm about to say, let's see.
Okay. I'm gonna fill you guys in a little bit.
Yo, I ain't gonna hold you. I gotta say this real quick before we go, because like when we were talking about like just the whole connection and the vibes and this and that, it's crazy because this is what it's saying, and like what you gotta respect from people. And this is what I gotta tell you this. This is what I respected from you was when how of a down to earth person like you really are. Like, it's like you may seem like, but it's like just you're really like, this is who you really are. It's not like a fake or anything like that.
Than you would expect.
Yeah, like, but no, not even to say that. So when I'm saying that is like with the whole like exchanging of the informations of everything is like she only shared like, oh, like I'm artist, like, so I was like, oh great, that's perfect, like, but then when I went and did my own research, I was like, wow, not just this, like it's so much more to you. So it's like, it's crazy, and it's like how nonchalant, and it's not a negative, like, because a lot of times people put negative words, like connotations to words, but like it was a positive nonchalance that you gave to it that just was like, yo, when I did my research, it made me be like, yo, this is really dope, like she's actually more dope than what she was expressing. You know what I mean? It was like, what? Does she not know?
What
like,
she wants to express.
But it's like, but that's what it was. It was like, it made me take back and be like, wow, like that was actually more dope, because you could have been super boasty, and it's like, what if that would have been? I'm like, well, it's just like but you were you. I mean, it's like that's
choosing
what you were,
which
like, yeah, like, like you were you for that moment. You were you. And it's like, that was dope. So it's like, but yeah, so it's like, tell us more about what you got coming out.
No,
what you got, like, it's like, I just had to get that out.
No, that was dope, because I have a lot of people tell me that, like, when they see, like, some, like, of the music and the work that I do, or any kind of images I show, they're, like, a little bit confused, until they really get to know me. And they're like, whoa, you kind of, like, just, I'm not, like, I'll toot my horn. I love myself. Like, for people that really know me,
you should.
Like, I'm obsessed with myself. But at the same time, I love to see expressions, so, and I love to express myself with art, and this is why I feel like I connect to other people that do art, and art is kind of just like doing what you love. It could be
Right.
cutting up a board or making music.
Right.
So where was I going with that?
What else
I'm
you
being
got?
I'm being more intimate, like doing these like podcasts
Mm-hmm.
and my streams. I never used to do that before because not everything is supposed to be public in my eyes. That's how it was.
Right.
Only certain people can have certain keys,
Right.
hence
Ooh.
SoulKeyz.
Ah.
So it's kind of just like if you could earn your way there, not even earn, if you could tune your frequency to that level. Like I said, it's not about who has the higher level. You know,
Right.
you could meet
It's just-
Beyonce, you could meet a regular schmegular person from wherever. It's if you have to have a certain frequency to speak their language. For example, we're speaking each other's language right
Right.
now. You know, you might speak somebody else's language that I don't know yet, but am I interested to learn or not? It's just back to choice. So yeah, it's just a choice. And I'm honestly, I'm in a point in my life where I do want to show more. I don't know how much more. You know, I could take
Right.
things off and
Yeah.
let people, But other than that, I'm good where I'm comfortable. I'm very like grateful where I'm at in my comfortability and my like soul, like character, human vessel self. Just be like, everything's all good. I'm here to
I
have
like
fun,
that.
and I want to be around others who want to have fun.
I like that. So speaking of having fun, are you doing anything fun? Is there anything that you got going on that you want?
Music-wise?
Like, cause listen, I need some of my, like, the people that I got looking, I need them to figure, cause they're gonna be like, how can I get you? What else does she have going on? I mean, obviously do your research like I did. You're gonna be fucking,
If you're a real one.
yeah. But it's like, how can we find you to get this stuff? Can we like,
So like I said, usually like people that it's either I get
Oh, you said
recommended.
Instagram. My
Yeah,
apologies. Go
Instagram is
ahead.
usually where I'm more active, but I have like my website, everything's on there, and people who work with me, videographers or other artists, we kind of work from like word by mouth type of thing, and I have Dreams is my latest song that I released for 2023. That was the last song for 2023. And
I fucking love that song. It's
yeah.
one of my favorites. I legit
That was
work
the
out
first
to that
song
song.
you sent me. You were like,
I legit work out to that song. Like I listen to that song every day. Can I say that to you?
That's
I
dope.
just told her.
That's beautiful.
I
That's
told
amazing.
her. I literally listen to it every day. Like I'm like it's literally in my playlist and like
It's very like motivational.
yeah,
is what I was
because
trying to
it
get at.
reminds you like yo yes like it's all truth and I like that. It's like you could connect to it. Like
If you want to
anybody.
connect to it, that's the thing. You could like that also goes into just you choosing what kind of
Yeah,
frequency
of
of
course.
music you go into.
Of course, that's with
But-
anything. Like anything that we put into our ears and stuff like that. But that's a whole nother thing too.
Right.
But
But for
no.
my new song, I have a load in my pocket, and I'm very particular about what I bring out. But I've been posting some sneak peeks of moves, MUVZ, and it's about just making moves in your life, and it's motivational and it's smooth. Bless it.
Shawty got that dress on, so the block is hot again. Think so when I hit it, sound like fuck a ad libs.
to new beginnings, all of that.
Gotta ask